The views, opinions, and stories shared on this show are based on personal experiences of the hosts and guests. They are intended for entertainment and educational purposes only. Some content may include mature themes, strong language, or descriptions of past criminal activity. These accounts do not glorify or promote illegal behavior. Viewer discretion is strongly advised.
Keep my podcast out your motherfucking mouth.
All right, bro. What you about to make? What you about to put together?
I'm about to make a chi chi. It's been a long time. I'm about to whip up the pink salmon. I got the beef summer sausage. I got the chicken romaine soup. We got the jalapeno squeeze cheese. We got the light tuna, and we got some rice for the add-on.
Okay.
You know we can't do nothing without the cheese curls.
Okay. Got the cheese curls. And this was like your go-to one of them?
Yeah, this is in the menu. This is in the rotation. You know.
One of your favorite ones? Or?
Yeah, you know, anytime you mix up more than 2-3 meats, pause, you know, into the meal, I mean, that means you're doing something special.
Flex.
Yeah, it's a flex. Especially
that was commissary day?
Especially, yeah. Not commissary, they could be football day. It could have been a VI day, you know. It could have been just a day you want to smell yourself and put brand new socks, drawers, and a white tee, and put a new pillowcase on it. You know, you keep those in the tuck.
Let's go. Let's see what you got. Hey, y'all, what's going on? It's your girl, Simon Bagley, t-shirt, 25 policy, or whatever. Y'all know what goes on your side. And today we're back with another episode of Chatting Over Chi Chi. And we got my guy today, one of my best, closest friends, Yancy Garcia, YG to the world. So tell me, or tell us, shall I say, a little about yourself. Who were you before prison?
Before prison?
Before prison, who were you?
Oh, man. I was somebody somebody from our environment who's selling product in our environment. I grew up from North Philly. I graduated from Kensington High School barely because, you know, I was so quick to be in the streets. Grew up with a single mom, little brother, and you know, I wanted to be grown, so streets made me grown at an early age, and you know, I was out there scrambling, gambling, you know, just like what we all gotta do in the trenches. And you know, I was one of the fortunate ones that I got to see a breakthrough, but you know, it came with consequences. And you know, consequences is, you know, either be dead or be in jail. You know what I mean, for a long time. And jail was one of the things that happened to me. You know, I ended up doing 7 years. Did 2 years my first time. Came home just like everybody else. Say I'm gonna run the master plan. I'm gonna run it up, which I did. But you know, you can't stop rats from ratting. So I went down again. I was perfect. I was doing good, but apparently I wasn't moving good enough, and I went back down. And I did 5 more years, and I was incarcerated from 2004, and came on 2005. And then got incarcerated back in 2006 after 13 months. And I did 62 months. And I came home in 2011, and I was in a halfway house 2012, which I was released on March. And since then, I've been working. I got my favorite quote: "I'm too legit to quit." So, and that's my story right there. Who I was before jail.
Okay. What's one lesson that prison taught you that you carry with you to this day?
Definitely love yourself. I think prison teaches that. You know, a lot of people when they walk through those doors, you know, they don't know how to love themselves. You know, and a lot of people walking through the doors, they're fighting so many demons, they don't even know them yet.
Okay. How did food or sharing meals play a role in your time inside?
It took away the pain, made my belly full, gave me a little bit of itis, you know. Definitely helped. Food's definitely always communication to the soul. So, you know, so food is always a plus.
Who's the best cook in there?
In there, oh man, everybody wears different hats in there.
Yeah,
you know?
but on your block, like who's somebody that everybody felt like, I need to make my dream.
I don't remember nobody. I don't remember nobody's name, but I remember like, you know, where he was at on the tier.
All right. When you think back, was there a defining moment that made you say, I can't keep living like this?
When I was incarcerated,
Yeah.
yeah. When I kept seeing square people coming in and out and don't appreciate, you know, the opportunities of them going home, and me, I didn't have. I had a date, but I had to work towards my date. You know, just because I came home in 16 months doesn't mean like that was my. You know, I lost. I was supposed to max out in 2012, and then they pushed my max date to 2017. So, you know, I had to work hard and focus, and it took me 3.5 years to actually to change that mindset of not wanting to be here no more. You know, and I started working towards a purpose and having a destination, and I think that was one of the biggest things that none of us never had no end game. You know what I mean? Because when I used to hustle, I used to hustle for the sport. I used to lie to myself I wasn't, but I really was, because I was just doing it for entertainment, for myself, and for the people I had around me, making sure like they're good. So I was doing for sport. I never had no longevity and to get out and do something different. So when I was incarcerated, that's what made me start thinking about my future. And I had no kids too, so I was like, damn, I need kids. I can settle down, so I can have more of a purpose out here.
What was the hardest part about readjusting to life after incarceration?
Man, it's you know, when I got locked up, it was razors and boost chirps. I come home, it's an iPhone 3. Somebody let me hold their phone to call them the half hour to check in. The phone ain't had no passcode. I ain't even know how to the slide bar to unlock the phone for half an hour. So so that was like a big change right there, because I realized that I had to make a lot of adjustments. And even though you think you know things, you really don't know, because you missed a lot.
For sure. When you were booked, what was your relationship like with your family? Like, you had people riding?
Nah. What? It's crazy, because at the age of 21, this is back in 2006. You know, I used to take care of a lot of people. I used to Western Union people money, shorties money, you know, and I used to make sure everybody was good, because I was good. And when I got incarcerated, all that thing vanished. The only thing they reached out to me, you know, just to ask questions like, you know, if I had anything out here, you know, that way they could have access to it, to pretend like they wanted to help me. But, you know, unfortunately I didn't, because, you know, everything was taken away from me. But you know, I rocked out. I did all that time. Only person rocked out with me was, of course, Mom Dukes. You know what I mean? She rocked out, and then she couldn't see me in that form, that shape or form. So, but I will see her like, you know, maybe once a year, you know. And it was tough, you know. So I became a writer when I was in jail. I started writing, and I started expressing my words and my thoughts, and that was another form, a way of me to venting and channeling my frustration and aggression and onto paper. And I was, as I continue to write, I release to talk to myself for the future me, you know, who I want to become. And I used to write down these, maybe they could have been dark thoughts, or they could have been creative thoughts, or they could have been poetic thoughts. But, you know, they all was like an expression of the time that I was doing.
How did your relationship change with your family and friends once you came home?
Friends didn't exist, you know. I got tatted on my arm when I was incarcerated. I said, keep away from your enemies, but be on your guard with your friends. You know, I know people say, you know, keep your enemy close, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. You know, it's however way you want to put it. At the end of the day, you just gotta keep your guard up. You know, and I know people were genuine, and nobody had great intentions for me, and people didn't even count me out. People just didn't count on me at all. So, you know, that right there made me realize too that I had to be, you know, more of a leader myself. And I had to learn too that every circle you're not meant to fit in. Sometimes you just meant to rock out by yourself until you draw and attract your own circle.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you think the biggest stigma or misconception about ex-offenders are?
Ex-offenders,
Yeah,
like
people that have a record.
People stereotype us or they profile us.
Yeah, but what do you think the biggest misconception is? Like, what do you think?
When you misunderstood,
Mm-hmm.
that people they will reform and we change, and people, you might have tats on your face, tats on your body, you might got a bad track record. They might precede you everywhere you go because people might know you for certain things, and that could also work against you. And I learned too, like the value that you have, not everybody's going to see or appreciate it. So you just got to keep going. My favorite quote is, you can delay me, but you can't deny me.
Do you think prison changed you?
100%. And not everybody changes. You gotta want to make that change.
Yeah, so that's my thing. I ask everybody that because I want to know people's different perspective, because I don't believe prison change you. I believe you change you. It's just the environment that you're in, and you're able to look at the man in the mirror. So I don't think it's prison.
It's all about.
It's set up to really destroy you and defeat.
Yeah, it is. It is. Prison is modern day slavery. Prison is another way, shape, and form to break down men mentally because we're already not emotionally inclined. We always was told not to cry. And we was never taught how to handle and express our anger. So prison, that's like the worst place for someone who hasn't developed into a man yet, and because it could destroy you mentally. And they will aid you. They will give you like medications and stuff, and put you in.
They will aid you in destruction. They will aid you because them niggas don't care.
They don't care because they getting a check. They getting a check of us anyway. Every day we sit in there, they getting a check.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I don't think they reform you. I feel like reform is self-inflicted. But do you have a comfort meal that could take you back to a time in a day that like
a comfort meal?
Yeah.
Of course. I never learned how to make them Doritos, like with the Doritos, the Dorito burritos. People used to put the Chi Chi in there, and they used to to flip it over. Yeah, sure. I never had a chance to do that, but that was something like I will ask somebody to do on a Sunday, and they'll whip it up. I'll give them the food. I'll pay them to do it for me, and I know my food be ready at a certain time.
What's one thing you never trading off a commissary?
What I'm never trading off? A honey bun is like, that's a personal. Honey buns are personal. So, honey buns was like one of those soups, you give them away like nothing, Sure. You give them away with a dial soap, huh? But, a honey bun. Oh, and them ice cream tickets. I know about them ice cream tickets. Them ice cream tickets come in clutch all year round.
How do food and conversation bring people together in your world?
Food and conversation. Food makes people more relaxed and makes people more vulnerable.
Absolutely. If you could create a dish that represented your journey, what would it be called and what would it consist of?
A dish off the commissary. If I was to make a dish on commissary, it would definitely be like noodles, Spanish rice. I'm definitely gonna make some. I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna do some mackerel with the octopus and shrimps in there. And I would call that. Man, I don't know what name I'll call that meal, but I would call it delicious because
that's the name of it, delicious. What motivated you to chase success the way you do?
I sold drugs because I wanted to be somebody, and I sold drugs that I ain't had a wicked jump shot, and I knew I could compound money, and I knew that would open a lot of doors for me. So I had to find something else where I can, not make the same, but also like to put me on a pace, on a path to make something where I'm comfortably where I can live. And then the biggest thing is I had to learn how to make adjustments to become an adult and to become a businessman, and also to set my affairs and my priorities together so I can get where I want to get to. And as long as I know that you have a destination, you can get there. You can smell yourself getting there. You'll see a vision, a tunnel you getting there because you're working towards them goals. But if you don't have no goals, you're not gonna get nowhere.
So how did you figure out which direction to take when you got free?
I didn't. So when I came home, I got, I'm saving these pictures. I'm trying to drop my weight down. When I came home, I was doing like 2,000 push-ups a yard. Throughout the day, like 1,000 each yard. No cap, everybody know. Everybody, once you start working out, you got that muscle memory. So you can do as much you can do. And when I came home, I got my OSHA certifications to ride forklift. Mm-hmm. And when I showed up to drive the forklift, it's like, your big ass is not doing the forklift. You're going to unload these trucks. And I was in there, and I was getting paid $40 to unload 40-foot trucks. And I was like, this can't be life. Like, I ain't come home just to unload frozen meats. So I got my fiber optics, copper cable communication. Mm-hmm. When I was up Housdale back in 2004. And when I came home, I was eligible to get a job like for Verizon, Comcast, but they wouldn't give it to me because I had a criminal record. So I ended up working at a taxi company that they were like the first in Philly with hybrid vehicles like Camrys, Nissan Altimas, and they gave me the job on the strength that I already had certifications. Okay. From CTEC. Even though I got the certification in jail, they don't say prison, they say CTEC, and they also say Penn State Du Bois. So it looked like I actually went to them schools. Yeah, so I got the job, and I started at $7 an hour, and I knew that's all they was going to pay me because I was inexperienced working on cars. I never worked on cars, by the way, and I just grind. And I just like when we was on the streets. You hug the block gonna hug you back. So I did the same thing with the business, and eventually it hugged me back. It started opening a lot of doors for me. Went from $7 an hour to $25 an hour in 13 months.
What role does discipline play in your life now as opposed to before?
Man, discipline keeps me centered. It keeps me level. It keeps me humble. It keeps me, more importantly, in tune and always speaking with Allah. I always put God first, and because without Him, nothing is impossible. And I'd rather talk to Him before I talk to somebody, because if I talk to somebody, they can run off to my business, but I talk to God, it's just, between us spiritually.
What's one risk that you took since you've been home that paid off?
Betting on myself.
Okay. Heavy. What's form of advice you would give to the younger version of yourself?
Man, listen to
the one sitting in the cell.
The one in the cell?
Yeah.
Man, sometimes I believe, a woman's intuition is very, very powerful, and it depends who you listen to. So, I just believe that I could have took some heed to certain things that my mom used to throw out there to me, And I used to think that she wasn't in the streets, and because she, she comes from the Dominican Republic. She don't know what she's talking about, but she sees it. And sometimes, when people see things, you got to validate their perspective. Because they might tell you something that you're too stubborn to listen to.
How do you personally define freedom?
Freedom? Freedom. Man, freedom is like freedom is when you can think for yourself and you can do for yourself. And also when you could actually like enjoy the fruits of your hard work, of your labor. That's freedom to me. When you don't have to rely on nobody and you can go get it yourself.
Mm-hmm. What's one habit or mindset you refuse to let go because it keeps you grounded?
Man, everybody laugh at me. I mean, I used to grow. Everybody got to listen to music. You know what I mean? So I listen. Everybody got Hove when they top 10. I mean top number one. You know what I mean? Some people be like, why you listen to that? I listen to a lot of book audios. I'm gonna put that out there. A lot of book audios. I don't have time to read books, but I can listen to the books, and that actually molded me to be the man I am today. Listen to book audios, but I mean, I gotta have some trap music here and there, some Jeezy and some Dolph, and I always like listening to Dolph because it reminds me of the young version of me.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years from now?
Honestly, I'm gonna be on Forbes. I'm gonna be cutting the red ribbons. I'm working hard. Yeah. So I want to be the first in the automotive industry to really take it to the next level. And I believe I'm there. I'm knocking on the door. And I got a lot of big things, and I really expect myself having a school. I got a nonprofit organization now, but I'm not really doing as much because everything's like self-funded. Mm-hmm. But with my businesses that I have 3 businesses, and they all pertain to the same industry. It's just different umbrellas, different revenues, and I see myself be at a bigger level because I'm already, like I said, I'm knocking on doors right now, and I rather talk about it when I have it, not talk about it me working on it. So I'm excited because it's actually happening, and I see myself like giving back not only to the community but giving back to the youth, especially our people in our communities don't have no guidance, don't got no big brothers, to guide them and aid them and tell them what not to do or what they should do or give them assistance of what they can do.
So you mentioned your companies, but what are they? You said 3.
No, so I got right. So I have one company is a vinyl rap company. It's called Too Fast Too Furious. It's here in Philadelphia. It's then I have another company called Custom Quick Cars, which is for like auto collision, auto repair. I just been working on getting more certifications. The more certification you get, the more jobs you can attract because it says that you're certified in them areas. And the third business is just got my dealership license, so that's crazy. Mm-hmm. So I'm testing the waters with that this year and next year, and that's gonna be like a blessing. I'm located in New Jersey, so that's the location. Why Jersey? I just want to expand and leave Philadelphia and open my opportunities in the different areas, and as well. I work in and out of New York City as well. That's something that I've been blessed and had a great opportunity to do to continue to grow.
Okay. If you could give a message to our youth, what would it be?
Man, just everybody. I feel it's like being a young person. You need like 3 people in your life that you can rely on, and it sucks because you might not can get that, seek that from your loved ones or your parents or your siblings or family. So sometimes you just gotta dig deep and find people. And it's gonna be on YouTube. There's gonna be people at seminars. You gotta dig deep. Because somebody out there definitely knows your story because they lived your story. Just in a different place at a different time. But it's so similar cases, similar situations, similar betrayal, similar tribulations. So, it's good if you can find someone that you can listen to. You don't gotta tell them your business, but just hear what they got to say, because it will ease a lot of your problems.
For sure. What's in that boulder?
Man, look at this bowl. Man, this is noodles, rice, cheese whiz, cheese curls, tuna, salmon, and beef sausage. And we this thing looking crazy. And I definitely got the honey sprinkled on the top.
Got the
Mrs. Dash in here.
I just want y'all to know this don't smell crazy.
Got the Mrs. Dash in here. Man, let's see how this thing popping. Let me see.
So when you got to prison, somebody taught you how to cook?
Somebody taught me how to cook, but I really learned from watching.
Just watching.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody got their, little hit and miss. This thing's popping.
Yeah, I believe you. I
I
can
mean,
smell it. I can smell
I
it.
gotta take another bite. Hold on.
Give me a funny prison story.
All right, so I don't like talking about this, but I would love for people that know me to actually tell these stories. So, so when I was in Jersey, I was
busting. You can knock it down.
I was in Jersey. I'm gonna tell you where I was at. I was in Passaic County Jail from 06 to 08. I did 23 months there. When I got there, I was so mad because I had money pop bill and I couldn't pop bill. They took the money. It was only like 20 grand, 10%, 20 grand. I could have popped that in my sleep. I couldn't pop it because they took everything I had. Then, as I sit there, it took me like 5 months to finally get a preliminary hearing. Now I get preliminary, I got mad people ratting on me that I don't even know because I got caught up in a case that it was like a wiretap. The wiretap started when I was in jail, so I walked into it when I came home from jail. So I'm like, what the F? Like, the case started when I was upstate. So now I'm like, I'm in the county, and I became real aggressive, and I really didn't care about my life. I'm gonna be honest with you. I ain't care. I didn't know what I was facing, so I was going all hard. And we all know how it is with with gangs and stuff in there. So in Philly, we neutral. The only thing we bang is our ratchets out here. You know what I mean? So when I'm in there, people in jail, they're real loose with the counters, especially if you're from different areas growing up. And they said some wild stuff, and I wasn't the one. And I had a lot of aggression built in me. And I was young. I was like 22. I'm doing, like I said, I'm working out heavy because I'm mad, with the water bag, with the pull-up bar, and man, I just was picking fights with people. And then everybody got their stories. Everybody boxed me. I went to Johannes to learn how to defend myself, but I also took that as an advantage. Know how to square up. So when I was booked, I was giving people a lot of heat. You know what I mean? Look at my face. I mean, I ain't got too much. I don't got too much marks on my face, but I got marks. And one thing I used to do is when people used to come in, and I'm not lying to you. I want somebody to vouch for this. People to vouch for this. I used to punk people coming in playing around them because I was on that type time. Like, yo, that's you in the paper. That was you touching that girl. Open the gates. And when people used to come in, I used to prank them. I used to take because and there you coming with your bed in your hand. Mm-hmm. So I used to smack the bed, smack it down. I used to throw on my shoulders. You know what I mean? People used to be cracking up like, yo, wow, you gonna find the right one. And that was something I used to do as a prank. And I'm like, I look at myself now, I'm like, yo, what I was doing. Mm-hmm. But at that time, when you're incarcerated and you doing time, you be in sav mode. And I was in that savage mode, especially I was so young. Yeah. But that's something that I'm not proud of, but I would definitely like to hear some stories about it because I used to definitely be tripping. I used to be doing that.
Do you think it's wise to get into a relationship after you leave prison?
No.
Why?
Because when you leave in prison, you're trying to get yourself together, and you're trying to actually to, get to know the new you. Everybody when they come out of prison, you're reformed. You're somebody different. You're somebody who was just scarred. Somebody who just got stripped away. Birthdays, New Year's, you got stripped away from your freedom. And you got to come out to the real world where a lot of high expectations is expected from you, especially showing up to your PO, especially paying some fees and fines and stuff. So like, coming home, trying to figure that out, and if you don't got nobody helping you, it's even harder. And I think getting in a relationship for a man or a woman come out of incarceration, that's a no-no. And I want people to know, like, after me being home for like 8 years, I was like, damn, I don't like where I'm going at in life. I feel like I got far in life, but I feel like I could do better. So what I did was I went in jail mode. What I did, I went celibate, no sex for 7 months. Because I said if I could do it in jail for 5 years, I could definitely do it, for a couple months out in the world. And I realized that that was the most powerful and most impactful thing I ever did in my life, because it made me reprioritize myself, and it made me to reflect on myself of the things that I wanted to work to. And it says it takes 30 days to see a change. So I'm telling you, I saw the change in 30 days. And in the 7 months, I accomplished so many things that I couldn't accomplish because I had too much fog in my life.
Did you enter into a relationship when you first got home from prison?
Yeah, I was ass backwards. I had nobody tell me. I had nobody give me no gems. You know what I mean? I came home. I need some love.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I just was looking, and I really wanted to have a child. Which I'm blessed. I got a 12-year-old son now,
Yeah.
and he's like my number one priority. But that's what I wanted. I needed that, because if I didn't have that, I'm gonna be honest with you, I was going back out in the field. And because that's the only thing we know, and it's hard. I mean, it took one of my homies to tell me, man, just enjoy life, man. I'm 27. Then I only was home for only when I was 21. And he was like, man, enjoy life, man. Get a job. I'm like, a job? And I was like, damn, you're right. I was banging on trades for 40 cents a day. So I can work $7 an hour.
For sure. For sure. You got any message you want to send to the people before we sign off?
Yeah, number one, I think it's very important for everybody to write out their goals on the paper. Know what you want, out of life. Know what you want to accomplish now. Know what you want to accomplish later on. Always, when it comes to your problems, don't tell nobody problems, because they ain't gonna help them. They definitely ain't gonna help you. But find someone that you can trust. That's gonna be positive, and they're gonna give you, the things that you lack. And that could be spiritual advice. That could be, life advice. But you gotta find someone that you can trust. And it's hard, because if you try to keep everything bottled inside, you're just gonna be a walking time bomb. And most important thing is, like, just invest in yourself. If you never give yourself opportunity, give yourself opportunity now, because you can open up a lot of doors. And you don't know what version of yourself you can be if you don't allow yourself to become that person.
That's heavy. This gonna have to backtrack a little bit, because I gotta I want to say this part, but I want this to be before this. So for people who have never been to prison but got loved ones in prison, and don't really know how important it is to ride, what it means to show up on a visit or to send letters or mail, what would you say to them, or how would you encourage them to show up for their loved ones?
For the ones who don't support them?
Yeah, because it's a lot of people that's not extending support because they don't really understand how imperative it is, because
right, they never been in that situation.
Right. So I just feel like
as though for people like that, and I feel like that too. I feel like that, just let it be. Just let it be. You can't hold expectations for people who don't hold them type of expectations for themselves. And they never showed you it. What makes you think they're gonna do it? So, one of the biggest things I like to say, don't do for others what you do for them, because they ain't you. They ain't gonna do it back for you. So, but that being said, is you gotta lead by example. If you're gonna do things, you do it genuinely because you want to, not because you expect something in return. So, if you expect these people to be there for you because you was there for them, don't expect that. Don't expect nothing. Because when you don't expect it and people do things, then it resonates different. Because it's genuine. For people that don't have people that don't, and they're not there for them, just leave it out to the universe, leave it up to God, and God, He will take care of that. You just gotta worry about yourself. Like I like to say, you can't control other people's actions, but you can control your reactions. So don't let that break you. Let it make you to a better person and a better individual. and just know who's there for you and who's not there for you, you know, and make sure that, you know, if you got somebody who you really love, you let them know, like, and you show the right way how to love, not the way you think they should love.
Well, y'all heard it here first on Chatting Over Chi Chi's. My guy YG just dropped all them Jews. Make sure y'all pick them up. You have tuned into another episode with Side Money Bags, BT Trip Queen. Make sure y'all like, follow, subscribe, all the good stuff. SY_Moneybags, Chatting Over Chi Chi's. Give me your IG.
Oh, my IG is at Custom Quick Cards Inc. I'm the best in the city. I do collision work, vinyl wrap, all from the muscle, not from no grandpa, daddy's business, ground up from the muscle up. Support if you want. This year we're gonna be in the Philadelphia Car Show coming up for 2026. 2025 was our first year. Like I said, I got a nonprofit organization, which I'm doing on the muscle. So, you know, there's a lot of high expectations in that program. And come on, support, y'all. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
We started doing your own podcast, just didn't have the space to go. Well, Black Wall Street Podcast Space is here to help you.
Are you tired of trying to podcast from home? Background noise, bad lighting, technical headaches? Ready to step it up? Well, welcome to Black Wall Street Podcast Space, where your voice meets production power. Whether you're launching a new podcast or taking your content to the next level, this is the place to create, edit, and grow professionally and affordably. High quality sound, clean production, built to make you sound your best. Need editing and mixing? We've got you. Whether you're just starting out or ready to take it to the next level, if you're ready to bring your vision to life, lock in your session at Black Wall Street Podcast Space. Quality, culture. Call 215-303-7425 to book now, and let's get to work.